We are headed out to the wild, wild west of Queensland. This is quintessential, classic, like Australian drover country. And we're feeling anticipation, we're a little bit nervous, but overall very excited because this area has a lot of family history for Rowan. So he's going to be taking over most of this video. I have warned him and I hope he's prepared to be reticulating some of his family heritage. Basically, his mum grew up in a town called Julia Creek, which is how far from here now? Another 5 hours. Our plan is to maybe stay somewhere around Hughenden tonight. We're stopped in Charters Towers to basically restock. We need to head to the supermarket, get some more water, because I think the next big town that we'll be hitting is going to be like Moree in New South Wales, which, if anyone's familiar with Moree, not very big. So we're really heading out there now.
Have you been to Moree?
I have been to Moree. And do you know why Moree is exciting for us?
I believe your grandmother grew up there?
Yeah, she grew up around Moree in a little town called Palamalawa. So there's a whole bunch of family history about to go on. It's going down. We've just gotten our groceries, and so we're ready to hit the road. And it has just started pouring with rain. I mean, it's been a wet morning, but now it's quite heavy. I won't complain because later in the week it's meant to be 40 degrees out where we're going. I'd prefer this to the crazy heat, but we'll be right. Are you having fun doing all the labour back there?
Yeah, I was wondering what snacks we need.
Snacks, road snacks. Banana for me, please.
You want some bananas?
Yeah, banana. You've just locked the fridge. Banana and it's all good. I've got Trina's cookies up here, so.
Oh, the cookies. Oh yeah, we got cookies.
I've got Trina's cookies. Thank you. On our way out from Charters Towers, we were keeping an eye out for the historical stock exchange. During the gold rush, this town became known as the World because of its prosperity and self-sufficiency, largely fueled by gold mining, helping to connect rural Australia with the financial world.
Yeah, maybe this one on the left. Yeah, this one on the left. Stock Exchange Cafe.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, nice. Just stopped for a quick coffee in, I have no idea where. It's an hour outside of Hughenden, but we just passed by a sign that said, "Welcome to the Queensland Outback." So we've done it. We're in the Outback, she says, as multiple flies circulate around her head. We've arrived. Give me your best cowboy impression.
Well, it's my American cowboy.
Yeah, Australian cowboy.
Mate, look, ask at the end what my cowboy impression's gonna be.
Well, can't we compare, We'll give it a go now. Yeah, I'm just heading down to the creek for the arvo, and I'll see you at the pub later on. I got looked after the range, and well, oh, look at the size of that bull ant. Wow, yeah, we're out in the sticks now. A wasp, yeah.
It's all good.
These are some of the less glamorous moments of living on the road. Is a very basic rest stop with pit toilets and the freeway right there. We thought about staying here tonight, but it's, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think we'll be okay to drive the extra hour. We're almost there, and I think it'll be nicer in Hughenden. So yeah, we'll keep going. Here we go. Hughenden, here we come.
Hughenden.
Hughenden. Is that not right?
Hughenden. No.
Hughenden?
No, it's just fun to say.
Hughenden. Pub/caravan park/hotel/cafe/general store/they've got a pool. Our drive out to Hughenden provided us with a real taste of Australia's pin-straight country roads. While you might think that such scenery is rather monotonous, in reality, it is quite mind-blowing driving through such a vast and flat landscape.
Four and a half hours later, and we have made it to Hughenden. I'm bugging. Are you bugging?
I'm actually extremely tired the whole day. I don't know why. Before we started driving.
Rowan had a nap. I drove the whole way. Oh no, there goes our fly screen. Not very windproof, apparently. It is super windy here, which is a relief because the trees disappeared about an hour ago. There's small shrubs only. And the sun, like, you can feel how intense the heat is, but luckily there is quite a strong wind, so it's cooling everything down for this evening. Yeah, not really sure what we'll do with the rest of the day now. What time is it? Like 4:30? Yeah. Have some
It's
dinner
taco
soon.
time. Taco time.
Taco time.
150 million years ago, this place was covered in dinosaurs. Today, we're going to show you exactly how they lived.
Go on, give us your raptor impression.
Rowan did that early on in our relationship, and it almost signaled the end. Kidding.
Well, welcome to another fabulous day of cooking. Tonight we are making noodles. I call these what the F noodles. So I don't know what goes in them. So I'm going to chuck a bunch of stuff in them. And then, yeah, it's going to be full of wonderful flavors, wonderful protein and nutrition, and we're going to have a real good time. So come along for the journey and the celebration.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to follow that up. Let me know if you're interested in more cooking with Rowan segments. He's an excellent chef. And because Rowan is the passenger princess, I get to be the afternoon princess and lie back and have a little nap while Rowan cooks.
Sure, it's great. If I have to wear that label, you have to do what I do, then absolutely. Sign me up.
You're in the tight spot tonight.
Oh yeah, tight spot. Alright, here's my noodles. They're lean and green. Full of, actually no protein in here. No. Just green stuff.
You lied earlier.
I did lie earlier.
But it looks fabulous. Thank you. I think that we both developed a little soft spot for Hughenden and its wide golden sunset. But although beautiful, it wasn't quite about the sunset exactly. That evening spent by the lake was a true pinch yourself kind of moment. So I'm just taking an evening stroll around the lake here in Hughenden and watching the sun set over in the distance. The colours are beautiful. And I'm just so blown away by the wind, but also that this is my reality. I'm just so grateful that I get to be here and do this and just experience this existence. In this moment, I was feeling so light, so unencumbered and free. This little house on wheels has well and truly become a home. The next morning we sat by the shade of the Coolabah tree and made our plans for the day ahead. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wow, that's very close.
Kids running the road. Film them. Hey, over here. Back over here. Good morning. What are we doing? Why are you doing this?
Oh, so you'd let us know what we're doing today.
Usually we do that in the van. People can't see us. But today we're going for a drive to Richmond. We're going to check out some dinosaurs and some family heritage.
Now, if you thought the drive out to Hughenden was flat as a tack, the drive out to Richmond is even flatter. I would soon come to understand just how mentally demanding it is to drive on a fast, straight road for hours and hours with nothing in between.
That day we had plans to drive as far as Julia Creek, stopping in Richmond along the way to visit one of the dinosaur museums in the Great Queensland Outback.
Here this morning in Richmond at Dinosaurs Corner, and you might be wondering what is Dinosaurs Corner and what is behind us here? It's a bit weird. It is a dinosaur, obviously.
Inside.
What kind of saurus is it?
Is
Is it a Chronosaurus? It's a Chronosaurus.
100 million years ago, dinosaurs prevailed over what land there is, including Richmond, where you are sitting right now. This huge marine carnivore roamed the oceans and inland seas, hunting smaller marine life. This is the Chronosaurus queenslandicus.
Some of my favourite takeaways from Chronosaurus Corner was the reminder that during the Cretaceous period, the Erromonga Sea stretched across the Australian continent. This meant a lot of marine dinosaurs from Australia. These guys were a top fave of mine. They look like a dolphin, but they have a temperament of a crocodile. There's also these guys who are giant flying crocodiles. I mean, just check out that wingspan. It really makes you appreciate how prehistoric crocs really are. What I learnt about this area is that it's black soil country, and that means that the soil kind of acts a bit like a sieve. Every time it rains, all of the finer matter will sink deeper into the land, bringing up any larger items such as dinosaur bones. This means that it's quite common for someone who is tending to their land to find fossils just like that.
Alrighty, now, next stop is a place that I've heard a lot about but I've never seen, Julia Creek. Julia Creek is where my mum actually grew up when she was very, very young before moving to Townsville. She grew up on a cattle station, so that was what my grandfather and his family growing up were running. They had a few properties out here. One was called Nallera, which is Halloran, my mother's maiden name, backwards. And so I'm very, very excited to go check out the area and see what it all looks like today. There's a lot that I'm keen to check out and just learn about kind of what they did out here and get a sense of, where my family comes from. Who knows? Maybe I have got a cattle station career lined up in the future.
There could be a deep connection out to this part of the country and we never leave.
Yeah. Look, if I get out of the van and a horse just runs up to me, I'm getting on, we just gotta go for it, and this could be it. This could be us forever.
We definitely look like we belong on a muster station, right?
Now, if you thought the drive out to Richmond was straight and flat, the drive out to Julia Creek, even straighter and flatter. At this point in our Outback Queensland expedition, we were now positioning ourselves closer to the central desert than we were to the coastline, and that is wild. That very short bike ride has got me in a sweat, but we're here to have a look at some of the history of Julia Creek and see if we can find an old school photo of Rowan's mum.
My mum. Found a photo of her somewhere in here, Jessie.
Okay, we'll see if I can figure out
You better figure out which one she is. Have a go finding her.
That looks like Jed. That's her, isn't it? I got it on the first go. That's her.
Yeah. So road. We just went for a ride on our bikes around Julia Creek, and we found this old little museum with a bunch of things that have been donated from the past like century from around Julia Creek. And one of them is this old wool press that is actually donated by the people who worked on the farm that my mum grew up on. And so there's a little plaque here actually talking about it. There's a few things. One is that, it mentions my great-grandpa and my great-uncle, so Lance and Rex, who unfortunately were working on a separate farm called Narrala, and where they unfortunately passed in a tragic bushfire. But then also mentions my great-grandpa, my grandpa, Murray, and the farm that my mum grew up on, Fleurs, as well.
Fleurs.
Very cool to be here and just to see all this preserved as well.
Yeah.
A nice surprise.
Yeah, cool bit of ancestry that you get to see. That's pretty rare, I think.
Yeah. I mean, growing up around Sydney and so far south of here.
Yeah. We're pretty far from home.
Feels like I'm in the middle of nowhere, and then, you've got some family stuff. Hi. And off she went to find her independence.
I just want to show you why I'm a hot, sweaty mess at the moment. And that's because this is this week's forecast. The temperature today. And this is the forecast for the week. So we have to be quite efficient with our movements. Afternoon bike ride was pretty adventurous.
Mm-hmm. This is Celsius as well.
I don't know if I have American viewers. Pretty warm. There comes another hot wind. At least it provides a little bit of relief from the 40-degree heat out here in Julia Creek. And we've decided that the best way to deal with that is to stay submerged in some kind of body of water. Julia Creek lies on the Great Artesian Basin, and that is a body of underground water that stretches from the Great Dividing Range to Lake Eyre. At the caravan park that we're staying at tonight, they have some artesian bath houses with some pretty cool views out onto the plains behind me. And so we have decided to spoil ourselves this afternoon and book a session in the bathhouse.
Oh, is it? Wow.
These artesian bathhouses were the perfect and most luxurious way to conclude a hot and dusty day in the Outback. Please join us next week as we continue our journey through central Queensland and traverse the state's dinosaur trail, spot some less extinct wildlife, struggle through a whole lot more hot days, and soak up the beauty that is this sunburnt country.